flip you around here. There we go. Awesome, awesome.
Okay, I got it now. I start shaking it up.
Wobbly hands ward.
Okay.
We're supposed to have Katie out here. She is here tonight, and she's going to join us.
Yeah, that's the mic.
That's the microphone.
Microphone. Oh, that's the receiver.
I thought it was like a little.
Get out here when she gets out
I'm
here.
just going to adjust the TV here so we can see the comments.
Take off the info.
Gotta figure out how this thing works. Oh, there's Katie.
There she is.
Just in time. Spider-Man.
All right, not really sure how this works.
Oh,
There we go.
Hey, hello. Judith M.
Hey, everybody from Tasmania.
Taz. Woo.
Kelly, hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Kelly.
Awesome, there we go. Now we can
Oh,
see you guys
Justin.
up there. All right, guys, we've got,
Katie's here. Looking good. Here you go. I'll let you have it.
all right, welcome to Crate-a-thon. We're not doing any crating in this episode. We have spent the entire day crating stuff that's behind us, so I can't see any of the comments, so if there's anything, Katie, let me know.
You look stout.
I'm pretty tired. Me and Ward started at 9 o'clock this morning. We got all of our crating done, so there's a big plane in this guy. This one has the Hanger 9339 in it, so that's what's in this top box. So it was a successful day of building big crates. Summary of the past 2 weeks. Yeah, this plane's done. We got the Super Bandit back. We've been working on the Super Bandit. That was today's video. Rocking the Aero Panda shirt today.
Yeah.
Kind of hot. Gonna pull my pants up. Sorry. And
Look at them gams.
so nothing crazy has happened over the past 2 weeks. We've just been focusing on building. We do have a lot of planes that we need to get finished for Tucson Jets, which is for us, we're leaving on March like 9th or 10th. So we got a lot of stuff to get done before then. And we've got to finish up the Super Bandit. We've got to finish a Rebel Pro that's not here yet, so we're waiting on the Rebel Pro. We've got to finish another Rebel Classic, and that's it. So we got to finish those things for Tucson Jets. So we got 3 planes to build in 3 weeks. No problem, easy peasy. A couple cool things. We'll talk about what's in the box here. I'll show you guys that. That's neat, but we have some questions first. So Michael Timms asked this question for After Dark. So if you guys have any questions you want answered on the After Dark, just email them to me, thelightersideofrc@gmail.com, and we will talk about them on the After Dark. So Michael's question was, today, I'll read this to you. Today I got a Cortex Pro for my Pilot Matrix, and the timing is perfect because I just watched your latest video on the Super Bandit, and you cover the setup of the Cortex Pro with your Jetty. So that's the video we just did. He said, I will run a Rex 12 and Rex 7 along with my DS24. What do you recommend as far as gains for the gyro? And second part is, do you have separate gains for landing versus normal flight? So I'm going to flip you guys around, bring you to the radio. Once we're done with that question, we'll come back here and we'll take a look at what's in the box. So let's cover your question first, Michael. So we'll turn this guy on.
That's a really good question.
And so yes, we do have 2 different different gyro gains. And that's part of the reason we use flight modes on the Jetty. So the best way to do things with this radio for the most vision available is to use flight mode. So this is our flight mode switch, which happens to be our flap switch as well. So you could call it a flap switch, but it's not, because you're actually deciding on the flight modes. and you could set up more flight modes on different switches if you wanted to. So the way we've got this organized, if you want to come in here, Katie, I don't know if the reflection's going to show up or not, so let me adjust that. Is that better? Mm-hmm. So basically we've got, we'll go into fine tuning. We're going to go into our gyro, and I don't know if I have them set up yet. I don't have them set up yet, so let's pick a different plane that I know we have stuff set up on. So we'll go model, select model, we'll pick my Rebel Red. Okay, so now we'll go into fine tuning, into gyro settings, and we've also got a gyro on-off switch. Actually, that's why it wasn't working in the Super Bandit. So with our gyro with the Cortex, I usually start off about 35 to 45%. Is pretty good for most aircraft. You're not going to have any issues generally in that position. For landing flaps, or takeoff flaps, sorry, you'll see we're at 60, so minus 60 in the Cortex Pro's case, and landing flaps minus 75%. So that's the way we've got it set. With our gyro off, it turns every one of those positions on or off. So there we go. So yes, we definitely use different gyro settings for flying, takeoff, and landing. You could set up more flight modes if you wanted to. So you could set up 3 additional flight modes where if you have your gear up, you might have a different gyro gain. So let's say you're coming in slow pass while you're flying, your flaps are at full. Maybe you want a little bit less gain or a little bit more gain. So you could set up more flight modes for that. So I think that answers the question fully. But yeah, usually with the Jetty system and Cortex, usually starting about minus 35 to minus 45% is a good starting range for pretty much any aircraft. I usually don't do any adjustments, so I'll start off with that and just leave it there because it works really well. I won't try and put it on the dial and maximize my gain. I don't find it really necessary. So what's in the box? Yes, it's going to be a bit of a pain to switch it, but we can switch it. Can you wait a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, Katie's asking to switch the camera.
No,
It's heavier.
This is easier to hang on to. This
Yeah,
is
that
like,
one's kind of big. She's asking questions about the camera thing. Okay, so what's in the box? We have version, I think this is version 3. Joe, if you're on there, let me know.
Smoking Joe, where are you?
So version 3 of Joe's fueler system is absolutely awesome. So back plate or mounting plate, this is for the large jugs, whatever the big one is. Not the VP one, but the other one. So this is the mounting plate for it. And the new fueler system. So this is available on Joe's website, so rccustom3dprinting.com. And this is the new fueler system, if you want to come in and do a close-up on this. So the previous one is, and I've got one over there, it's all a 3D printed case. This one is all aluminum case. So really, really nice, and it's not thin aluminum. You're talking like, I think 1/8 aluminum maybe. The other cool thing is Joe is doing the labels with 2-color 3D printing. So we've got 3-cell LiPo on there. It's not a label, it's built into the system. You got your on-off switch, your voltage. In-out is also printed, so fuel in, fuel out. The electronics behind this are all the same. So you're using the same electronics where you can program your plane in here. So if I take my kinetics out as an example and the fuel system's empty, I hook up to it, I go to kinetics, I push the button and it fills it perfectly full with the amount. It also reads when you take fuel out. So if you're taking fuel out of a plane or setting up a brand new plane, you can see exactly how much goes in, how much you've used. And then the other cool change is the fittings here come out the top and they're push fittings or Festo style fittings, which is great. So really happy with this new setup. Battery mount on the bottom. The battery mount has always been good even on the previous version. So thanks Joe for this. We'll get this installed on my jug here shortly, but this is a great upgrade. And if you guys are interested in this cool system, check out Joe's website, rccustom3dprinting.com. And I might have got a special label for mine.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
Very cool.
Very schwanky.
Thank you, Joe. So that's the fun stuff in the box. I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, we got a plane over there. That showed up this week as well.
In the crate.
Yeah, in the crate. So that is a pattern plane from
The UK, isn't it?
Nurila, Nurila. So really cool plane. I've seen pictures of it. The scheme is amazing. So we'll be unboxing this thing soon. And what we're going to do is unbox that. Then we're going to figure out the equipment that's going in there. So it's electric, of course. Uses really small servos. Has the twin wing set up. And yeah, it's a beautiful plane. So really excited to show you guys that because it is just one of those things where it's very, very nice quality. And if you appreciate high quality planes, you'll appreciate what's in that box. So that'll be coming soon. We've been basically working on the Super Bandit over the past week-ish. And it's been good. Making some good progress. We got to switch the camera here to this stand, so this may be a little bit...
You want to repeat? Hey, Joe, you want to put your website down on the...
Take the camera.
On the, just put it in the comments there.
Yeah. That would be really good.
And people want to know what's in the big crates.
What's the website with the 3D printed stuff up again?
People want to know what?
What's in the big crates?
Ford looking excellent in green. Well, it really comes in green, I guess.
Oh, Kyle says he's also missing that
All
pizza.
kind of color.
Missing what?
He's missing the pizza.
Oh,
What was that pizza?
We had
Great
Donair
Canadian
pizza.
pizza,
from Great
Donair
Canadian.
pizza.
Chris, you want to know the website for the 3D printed stuff again?
You can get some of the stuff on my website, so thelightersideofrc.com. You can also go to Joe's website. Joe's going to put it on the chat here, but it's, yeah, Joe, just put the stuff up on the chat. Okay, I'll put you back on the camera stand. Which way do you want this? Like this? I don't think it really matters. Here we go. Get that view.
Jane Keller wants to know what's in the big crate.
There, that's better.
He wants to know how the weather is here.
The big crate is top secret, so we can't tell you what's in the big crate, unfortunately, but it's a special project that is now complete and on its way, or going to be on its way down back to the company soon.
It's a skunk works.
Justin M., he says he would love to go into flying, but he's being disabled, he can't afford even to lift anything over 20 pounds. What could you recommend for him?
Find somebody to help you. We have a guy at our field, Corey. Corey's in a wheelchair, and he gets out there. He makes sure somebody's usually at the field with him, and I think that'll work okay. And yeah, Corey's in a wheelchair, so he kind of has a special setup. Sorry, I'm talking to the TV. I should be talking to the camera. So Corey has a big trailer. Obviously, I think you're focused mainly on cost, but Corey's got a big van, a big trailer. So when he gets there, he's got a motorized wheelchair, so he can actually like take his wheelchair and go drive right up into his trailer, and it works really well for him. He's pretty much self-sufficient.
Yeah, that's
you know.
was amazing. He
Yeah.
flies big airplanes, man.
Yeah, and he bought his first jet this winter, so he's going to be getting into turbine aircraft here pretty quick as well. So, yeah.
But what would be good for under 20 pounds?
What about the foamy plane?
Yeah, if you're just learning to fly, just start off with foamies. Basically, is the best thing to go to. So turbine aircraft, it gets a little hard. Like the Rebels, they're 20 pounds empty. When you add fuel to them, they're going to be about 26 pounds.
There's a smaller one than that, too.
Yeah, the Rebel Hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got one over there in a crate too.
Yeah.
The Rebel Hot's probably going to be about 16 pounds, I'm just guessing. Somewhere in that range, so.
80 to 90 engine or something like that.
Yeah. 60.
Nick, is
Any
Chris
thoughts
sensing a
on-
shock? That's choked out here.
Any thoughts on running a plane building or jet building class for people.
There's one guy said that he'd actually charge seats to be in the class.
You know,
He said he would actually pay.
so I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit right here. So one of the things with all of this is like, how do we make this bigger, better, more viable as a business? So if you think about the lighter side of RC, we try and have multiple streams of income because that's what you have to do when you're a YouTuber. So I've got my regular job. I make money from YouTube. We make money obviously building aircraft. We make a little bit of money selling products and turbines. So that's kind of the three major things. There's some brand deals and stuff like that, but it's, so maybe that's one more. One of the things I've been thinking about and learning about is doing some sort of educational type idea. I don't know how to organize it. So if you're asking the question and you are interested in possibly doing that, or you'd be interested in a course or whatever, please shoot me an email with some ideas on what you would like to see or possibly do, because I think it would be pretty cool. Maybe we do like I'm just spitballing here, maybe we do like a master class where we get on once a week or once every 2 weeks for an hour, and I'm helping you guys over like video chat or something. I don't know how it would all work, but I think it's a cool idea, and I've been thinking about it for quite a while. So if you have ideas and you're watching this, please reach out to me, thelightersideofrc@gmail.com. Let's have a discussion about it, because I am interested in doing something further with it. So thank you. All right.
Makes sense watching the builds. It's a class in itself.
True. It's a little bit, I get constant comments on the videos about how some people are like, your videos are cool, but you really don't show anything. And I always try and have that balance, right? I mean, if I showed every single step, it'd be so arduous and boring, and I don't think people would be interested in it. Like, do you really, I mean, maybe some people want to know, but do you really want me to show in the video how I glued this piece of wood onto this tab? Or should I just say I mixed up Hysol and we glued this on, because it really is not a big deal, right? Like, maybe I'm wrong? I don't know.
That's more like very short how-to classes.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to do, is you're just going to say, take a 15-minute thing there where you're going to say, well, this is how I install a servo.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
Christopher
all
said, I've been to a few barbecue classes that charge per seat. Yeah.
Yeah, or wine classes too.
Joe, I almost got the ladders done. Thank you, Joe. So North Star Sweden can burn Caro or diesel. Jet A for the Sweden. That's all I use is Jet A for my Sweden engines. Sometimes I'll use kerosene, but it's pretty much Jet A exclusively. So I've got 2 drums. Beginning of season, they're filled, and that's what I use. So they run great on Jet A. Kerosene is Jet A. It's the same thing.
Without the additives.
Yeah. So.
Someone asked how long to build a plane on average.
Yeah, it depends on the plane. Like the Rebels up there, the Rebel Classic, the green and purple and yellow one, I can get one done in 3 days. Now, the caveat to that, when I say it's 3 days, it's not 3 days of like 4 hours. I'm talking about 3 days of 12 to 16 hour days. So I can get one of those done on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I'm starting at 8 or 9 in the morning, working till 11 at night every single day. So it's more about hours.
A regular Joe would be a week and a half kind of deal.
Yeah, putting in like evenings and stuff, right?
Or like me, just
Yeah. Some planes, the Super Bandit we've been working on since
Last year.
August. Yeah, something like that, right?
yeah, that's yes.
So we spent a couple months working on the Super Bandit, getting it ready for paint, drove it out to paint. Paint took a few months, it's back. Now it's, I'm recording hours on this. I think I'm already up to 30 hours for the reassembly or the assembly portion, so.
Big time on the tutor here.
T33.
T33.
Yeah.
Big time hours, lots of hours.
Yeah.
That's,
And still not anywhere near done.
but those two jets are like real builds. That's
Yeah.
how the hobby used to be until these.
Yeah, and the Skymasters, like an F14, the F16 would generally take about 120 hours. The F16, we're also weathering it, so that's going to add a bunch of time. You know, took the gear out, painted the gear, reinforced a bunch of things, so it's taking a little bit longer, which is normal.
That's nice and snug in there.
Snug like a bug in a rug.
That's the way we want them.
And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, if you're new here, just ask away. Katie's womaning the microphone. So she'll,
Mark wants to know what planes you're taking to the event in Tucson.
As many as possible.
Tucson?
Tucson.
Tucson.
Oh my goodness, don't ever say that down there, man.
I corrected it real quick.
The natives are gonna have
it
you.
out.
So I think that I am probably taking my trailer, I think, at this point.
With another trailer for fuel?
So at this point, we're taking the Super Bandit, the Rebel Classic, and the Rebel Pro that's coming. If I'm still taking just my Armada, my vehicle, then I'll put my Rebel Classic in there. If I'm taking my trailer, then I'll probably bring the Kinetics, maybe the Super Elan, but probably the Kinetics as well will be tagged in there. So maybe I shouldn't have put this in there last night.
Dave says, I know your whiteboard is full, but have you ever considered doing episodes consisting of post-incident repairs?
Oh yeah.
That never happens. That never happens.
No, there's one good feed on that. One particular friend of ours that's, I could break them into a million pieces.
I've done a little bit of them in the past.
A little bit.
I really don't enjoy repairing aircraft,
No, it's,
but
it's actually stressing.
oh my gosh, this is tight.
Is it the glue?
Now, can you hold this down there? Yeah, so I don't have any coming up, but yeah, I've done a few in, so.
I'm guessing like he's thinking about like landing gear stuff because it's usually like on jets. It's like gear that have
Well, you've
come
ripped out the landing gear or
yeah,
something
the
like
blocks
that.
have come loose or whatever.
How long is the drive down to Tucson?
25 hours.
And that's going speed limit.
Joseph says, need a bigger shop, too many planes, not
Heck
enough
yeah.
room.
Hi, Nez.
We never thought that when we moved in here. We thought that you had lots of space. When you first initially remember the trailer was supposed
Kelly
to be
says,
parked in
put
here.
some dry lube on that rudder.
Thanks, Kelly. I just did. It slipped in no problem yesterday. Hi, Nezzy.
Okay.
Neskins.
Crowbar.
No, Lord.
She's doing her honey-do. What size is that? 2 mil?
Dale says, awesome content, always look forward to watching. Where's Nez?
Right there.
Right there.
Nick
Hello,
says, so just down the road and around the corner then. 25-hour drive,
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
just the first bit. Hopefully the weather's gonna be
Bubbles.
good getting into like Salt Lake-ish area for you guys. That's the biggest thing.
Nez is short for Nezuko. It is a character from an anime something that my daughter named.
What is that?
Dry lube.
Really?
Dry lube.
Try it. Oh,
Your kids are into this anime? Yeah, okay, good. My kids are too. Okay. I just shake my head.
Come on, Rudder.
the rudder thing.
You just have to have the touch. It's just
Nez needs bells because we need to be able to hear her when she's getting into trouble.
Yeah.
oh yeah, look into the parts bin.
No, what happens is you'll have the door open and you can hear her coming for the door. If she doesn't have her bells on, she gets outside.
turn that on?
Man, you know, that looks like the deflection on the SR-71. The rudders go from
Nick
side
says
to
some
side.
swearing might help.
It's internal swearing, I think is what's going on.
Is this your full-time job?
No.
Nope. I also work in the construction industry.
Actually, let me correct you. This probably is your full-time job because you spend more hours doing this than you do your actual job. So
Correct.
your construction industry job
Yeah,
would be your
that's
part-time
part-time.
job.
I'm hot again. It's this long sleeve shirt.
Earl Poundishry.
Yes, I basically put full-time, well, more than full-time hours into this and full-time hours into my work, so. This is part of the struggles of these things. Oh, there we go. Holy mackerel. Fortunately, when this rudder goes on for the last time, it's never going to come off, so.
Marty's, what would be the cost of the F-14 build and delivered to Washington?
You mean this one here?
Yeah, which one, the big one or the small one?
The smaller one that he did before, or this one? Because this one here is like,
I think the question you have to ask is, which size of F-14 are you talking about?
so what scale is this? 1 to 4 or 1 to 5?
Oh, XXL.
XXL. Yeah, and then they have the XL one, which is the one that was before.
Best thing to do with that is if you shoot me an email, we can
Discuss.
discuss on email.
Got thread stuck in there or what?
No, it's got a set screw in there. I just took the set screw out. Missing one of these guys.
Oh, the metric version. Right.
No, Imperial version.
Imperial, sorry. I don't even have the small Imperial.
Shipping to the U.S. We win 80. Anything special or extra shipping costs between countries?
No, not at all. If you order it, I ship it down to you, no problem. So what happens is if I don't have it in stock, the engine will come here first. We set it up, test run it, generally the same day that it arrives. And the next day it'll be shipped off to you. And no fees or anything like that. So. Okay, so we'll leave that out.
Looks like the same kind of set screws for the.
They're big mamma jammas.
Well, they're big ones.
Yeah.
These are like the ones they replaced on the RE50 here.
There we go. All right. Okay, if we have to film stuff, Nick, where are you? You're supposed to be reminding me.
Yeah, okay, this is for the filming.
Got to get microphone number 2 on.
Mix in $1 gazillion and change.
For what? The
Shift to
F-14?
the
Oh. It's not that bad. During the height of COVID, we did an F-18 box, pretty big. No, it wasn't this big, but it was pretty big, and it was, when the height of COVID, everything was insanely expensive. So that was like 2.5 years ago. And I think it was like $2,000, I believe, by FedEx. But things have come down a substantial amount. So
Everything's almost double.
yeah.
You're flashing.
Yeah. Everything's labeled DJI. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we
One's blue,
go.
One's green.
Okay, I gotta watch the previous
All right, so
clip.
in preparation to install the big ceramic blanket piece,
Did John do?
made up our wire lead going to the front for the rudder, and that's installed right here. So we have a little black clip that's held in place with
That boy
double-sided
17.
tape.
Yes, there we go. Now I know where we're at. See, I videoed some of this yesterday, then I did some, then I went to bed. So now we got to look back and see what we actually videoed, what we didn't video, and now we're caught up. Let's see how we can use this amazing camera. There we go. All right, so we've got all of our ceramic blanket installed. You can see there we've got the front piece, back piece. We will be treating that former right there, the rudder holding, I'm extremely sorry, the vertical stab holding former. We'll be treating that with BVM heat shield, but that is the rear section. All right, so we have our plug-in installed right here. You can see there. We got that installed first, so when we glued the ceramic blanket in place, now we have access to our plug. That's where the servo is going to come down and plug in. So next thing we have to do is get our rudder vertical stab, my apologies, set up, and we've got to get our servo installed. Now we did the servo mounts previously when we were building the aircraft, so it should line up fairly well. The system used on the stab is pretty unique. It's got piano wires coming to here. We've got a clevis. It's a pull-pull system, so a very nice system. We also did this a little bit different during the build of this aircraft, so we made it absolutely minimal and flush. The manual asked for this tube to come out a little bit and be visible. Didn't want to do that. I thought that was a better solution. So we're going to get stuff kind of organized and set up here for our rudder installation.
Okay, Gut Boy asked what thought of foamies as a step into turbines. I can even answer that one.
Yeah, Victor had a good answer there as well too. Foamies are good. Like if you're using a foamy EDF, it's fine. Like it's a good stepping stone into turbines, but it's not the same. You can make it more similar, like the Havoc up there as an example. My green plane, you know, you've got retractable landing gear, you've got flaps, you've basically got all the functions that mimic a turbine aircraft, but the throttle response is instantaneous. So what I would suggest doing is once you get proficient flying that, slow your throttle channel down a little bit. And
That's a good suggestion.
it's going to make a huge difference to be more like flying a turbine, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So this is still on my Rebel. So if we go menu, model, servo setup, there's our throttle. Throttle's channel 7. So right now, you know, our throttle is instantaneous, right? It travels that distance instantly. If we go to delay positive negative and add a 3-second delay, which is very close to a fast turbine. So now we've got a 3-second delay both directions. And if we go to our main screen, so now our throttle channel here, if that shows up on camera. So we're at minus 100%. I'm going to go full throttle stick. And you can see there, it takes 3 seconds. It's still moving through the travel, but it takes 3 seconds to go in each direction. Now, if we're flying around at half stick, which is right there, and we go to full throttle, it takes a while to get up there. So that's going to be way more realistic to flying a turbine. I wouldn't say do that right away because it's going to be weird. So get used to flying the airplane first and then maybe add a second, add 2 seconds, add 3 seconds, and that's going to be the most realistic step into flying turbines. It's going to get you very close without actually having the turbine.
That's actually a really good suggestion.
Now I got to make sure I reverse that. Why is my Zeitgeist so slow? Send it into the factory.
Yes, please. Yeah, you don't want to send it back to Spain yet. Gasper would be like, what?
There we go.
Kelly says, my Evo Ultra Bandit will be done first of this coming week and we'll make Tucson, so bring your trailer.
Nice.
So that you can spend the night and go to Famous Dave's. Oh,
Nice.
I
Katie's
wanna
going to miss out.
I
And
have
you may be-
volleyball that week.
You may be wondering, like, what's the big deal about bringing your trailer? Well, here's the big deal. We live in Canada, which is 5 hours north of Kalispell, Montana-ish. For us to drive from our spot where we are right now to Tucson, it's 25 hours of straight driving, so about 2,500 kilometers doing the speed limit. If I drive that without my trailer, it's about $1,200 in fuel there and back. If I pull my trailer, it's about $2,000. So it's about $800 more in fuel just by bringing my trailer.
I mean, you turn your car off, it burps.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
But having that trailer there is like having home base.
Totally.
It's like your shop. I would just remember when we were in
Yeah.
Battleford. It's just like having your. There's
Yeah.
a place there, everything.
Everything's there. Toolboxes, parts.
The charger's there. Just turn
Yeah.
on the generator. Away you go.
Exactly. So yeah, it is nice to have.
It's like missing two hands and trying to go flying. It's kind of what it is. It really is. Especially you become so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Cat
So
Boy says Aerofoam. I like the F5. Back to
Nice.
like foamies, I guess, right? Or like
yeah, the F5 is a
The
lot
lights.
like the Super Bandit, right? It's a very, very speedy. It's almost like it's basically a sports jet. Is really what it is.
Victor says composite airframe are more money, but I used one to get my waiver. Nick says the Cougar a good choice, also has a huge wing area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one downside with foamies is they are very subject to hanger rash, right? So even just moving the darn thing around, I mean, any plane is, but that specifically, like very easy to dent, damage. So it's really not a long lasting plane in my eyes because you're going to be, you know, the thing's crap after a couple years or a couple months.
Victor says the F5 is a good second or third jet, like the L39 or the MB339 is best.
What was the reason?
Tricky Ricky says, where's your apron?
What? Is he the guy that made it for you?
Good question. It's hiding over there.
We haven't really used it all day because.
Yeah, I haven't had it on all day.
Nick says the F15 is good, huge lifting area as like the Cougar.
Actually, the reason I didn't put my apron on is because I wanted to show off my Aero Panda garb. Because I figured I put it on this morning specifically for today. Now we got to undo these things.
Nick says put the Elan on trailer roof and you can take one more.
Well, the Elan, actually, I wouldn't mind selling the Elan. So if anybody happens to be interested in the Super Elan,
You like to leave it down there.
I wouldn't mind leaving it down there.
Dave says, speaking of Zykoy, do you ever change the ACC from auto to the warm or cold settings?
Who asked that?
Dave.
Which Dave?
Dave Freeman.
Oh, I haven't. When we were down at Miami Jets, I think we did on the engine that was in the BDXS, just to try and make it run better. But auto is generally where they stay, I think. There we go. Now I feel more comfortable.
Now the knowledge is flowing back
Yeah.
in, right?
Exactly.
Edgardo says, is the ceramic blanket required? I know before BVM used a single pipe exhaust pipe, but with the double wall exhaust pipe, the ceramic blanket was not required.
Yeah, and that's, so in video 3, the one that we're recording right now, so this will be Wednesday's video, I actually touch on this, and I'm a little bit sarcastic with the video, so that'll be coming out. If you think about this aircraft and the pipe setup and stuff, like the old BVM, I should say the plans for this exact setup say that you're supposed to cut these tabs right here, or make tabs right here. They get folded up and you put foil around, which we're gonna do. You put the ceramic blanket in the fuselage over top most of the pipe, which we've done. Now, the way a pipe works is it creates a Venturi effect. So your inner pipe is stepped in about 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters from the outer pipe. So that creates a low pressure right here. What that low pressure does is called a Venturi effect, pulls air through this side and pulls it in between the two layers of pipes. It's a cooling system. But there needs to be a source of air for this side of the pipe. So if you think about a Carf Ultra Flash, Carf Ultra Flash is very similar, full bypass on the older Ultra Flash. So very similar to this plane. Carf's solution to that, and I've had this on every one of my Carf aircraft, is you create a little triangular NACA inlet right here and here. And those two little inlets are enough to feed the Venturi effect on your pipe, and never had a single issue with the Carf aircraft. I think the problem with this setup is there's no feed for this pipe. When this plane is flying and everything's buttoned up, you've got gear doors closing everything in, you have zero extra air coming in the fuselage.
Yes.
So, you know, you're basically trying to force air through this wall without a source of air. So I think it's a, and maybe Kelly, you can comment on this too, because you have lots of experience. I think it's a design issue. Obviously, on a jet like this, it's going to be a fast aircraft. Creating those inlets maybe is a bad idea, but I think it would be a very simple solution without gluing all of this crap back here and having to do that. But we're doing it anyways because that's what the manual calls for. So, but I agree with you. It's a kind of a poor design. It could be better.
Nick says, fill the trailer with full helium.
You get better gas mileage.
Go around a corner, it's like just skipping.
It's floating up in the air.
That's funny.
Go across the border. The trailer's so light.
Don't open the trailer!
The guy comes up.
Mark says, what do you mean Katie isn't going to Tucson? That was the only reason I was going
There
out
you
there.
go.
Who said that?
Gotta keep my fans happy too.
Oh, see?
I have volleyball.
Yeah, she was actually going to come. I'm going to
coach.
fly down, but she coaches volleyball. So I think you have a tournament that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta hold the fort together.
Yeah.
John Horner said, it's only money, LOL.
Yep.
Yeah.
The experience will be worth it. Joseph says, Nezuko is a character from Demon Slayer.
There you go.
Kimetsu no Yaiba. Totally butchered that. Give us a twirl, Jonathan. Now he's got his apron on.
And my short shorts, short pants.
You're
That's like built-in air conditioning.
They're like capri, men capri.
See, you get hot, you just pull your sleeves up, pull your pants up.
Waybird says, I was thinking the same thing, but didn't they have their Dexter aprons on?
What?
That was probably from the comment of where is your apron.
Oh,
Dragon Killer, have you seen Remy RC building a C-130?
oh heck yeah! I've
Yeah.
been enjoying that series from Ramy RC. It's very cool.
That is amazing what he's done with that.
The last episode where he's taxiing it out and riding on it
Yeah,
is
I know he's riding on it. I was just like,
yeah.
oh.
And then Tyler
That's
Perry.
strong.
So Sal from Sky Candy Landing Lights, which is Flight Systems RC on YouTube, they're also working on what do you call that when you rebuild an old car? Refurbishing, restoring an old version of that same plane. So Tyler Perry was actually visiting Sal and those guys to check out their C-117 or whatever it's called. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Very
Really
cool.
stuff. It's amazing how strong that plane is.
Yeah.
John says, foam planes are for kids, LOL.
Not that foam plane, that C-17.
Yeah, there's a heck of a lot of carbon fiber on that baby too.
Yeah, he must have got a really good deal because there's so many layers.
Justin says, I'm not a kid by no means. 58, but I admit I'm a newbie.
Simply did not know how, for sure, how
The reason we
hot
used the blanket was
fusil would get.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it's reading there. Kelly is saying that about BVM.
Okay.
John says, lots of great options for entry-level jets that are not foam and for not much money. Justin says, I so want an A10 Black Snake scheme. Actually, I like the A10
There's
Black
one
Snake.
sitting
There's
right
one
there.
sitting
There's
over
one
there.
sitting
It's a
right there.
big
Not for
one.
sale, but
We can
Want
get
to
one
see it?
for you.
We'll go for a little walk.
It's a doable thing.
okay,
you
so we have some glue splooges. We need to get rid of our glue splooges.
Or is it?
Nick says, my Habu
No, it's
refresh just about done. Going to do the BDX scheme. Should look epic.
Nice.
Kenrick says, you need a small diesel like the Toyota Hilux we get in Latin countries. I bet you would do it with half the amount.
No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right.
I actually need a big diesel. I'm trying to make that work, but unfortunately, diesel trucks here are like brand new, 100 grand.
Yeah,
So,
they just start off at 80.
yeah,
And diesel fuel is way more expensive.
Not that much.
but it's more fuel efficient. So,
Nick says, get them to move the, well, it's Arizona. It's in Tucson,
yeah,
so I can go. Yeah, right.
change the date for
Change
you.
the date so I can go.
Where's he from?
Make a noise for a sec.
Once you get the rain delay, no,
That should be
what
better.
happened to us on Saturday? I woke up and everything was wet, and I'm just like, I'm out of here.
It wasn't bad.
I know you guys stayed and had some good flights, but it was.
Kelly says, the reason they used the blanket was they simply did not know for sure how hot the fuse would get, and early turbines did have more fires in them. Now, when was the last time you saw a fire?
Exactly.
Yeah, at your jet contest when Randy started up and had a big.
So Katie
flame.
was just saying she'll get to the comments.
And from what I understand with that airplane, the back end of it is burnt now, that it has to be reconstructed from that fire.
Huh.
The builder said to Randy, said, it's no good, you gotta get it fixed.
Chris Speed.
Yep. Like it burnt on the inside of the.
Yeah,
That was in Montana, right? Yeah.
But Randy's still flying it.
that's okay. As long as it hasn't come apart yet.
Probably. I think he's flying it to destruction. I think that's what's happening.
Victor, I would love to meet your wife. Someday.
You say that now. You say that now. Which Victor was that?
Victor RC Jets. Edgardo says, thanks. My composite Bandit has those inlets. One in the top and one in the bottom.
Yeah. They work really well.
Yeah, if we did two in the bottom of this one, it would solve all those problems. So. But then you also have to be concerned about the speed envelope. I don't think it would really make a difference because
Are you
it's
really going
in
for
the
a record?
airflow. Well, I'm not, but the owner is. Not really a record, just
Well, that is.
I know the
Gordon
point.
says Remy rocks.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. It's definitely has some cool things on his channel.
That's amazing, that blanket. That is really thick. Imagine that added about a couple ounces in there.
It did, well, definitely, and then also the silicone as well too. So you glue it in place with silicone.
Yeah, and two of those ducks would be what? Maybe 15 grams worth of installation?
Yeah. Oh, you don't even. It's actually getting rid of because you just do an opening.
Yeah.
You just do a triangle opening.
You'd actually save weight and actually. Oh, wow.
Cool Cat says he's resussing it apparently. I watched him pulling it out of the garage. He's fixing up the undercarriage right now. It's a huge aircraft too. Love the Galaxy. Justin says, I have watched all videos of the A10 builds. Just awesome. Looking at planes for sure. Awesome looking planes for sure.
Yeah, the Black Snake scheme too. I think this, I was watching the video of the one I did last year, and they're both nice. I actually like the lighter gray scheme for visibility better because there's more variation in it, but I like this one just for how mean it looks. It's a better looking plane, I think.
It's also lighter
For the
too than
scheme?
the previous one, right?
Yes.
They've gotten stronger.
The previous
lighter.
one that I did in the Black Snake scheme was an early generation Skymaster, so that's why there was lots of ability to make it lighter.
Evolution of building.
Anthony says my 2022 3500 was 120K truck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that was a truck.
Yes.
Kelly says the Ultra Bandits have always had the NACA ducks in the bottom.
NACA ducks, yes. I just call them the NASA ducks. But they're NACA ducks.
Nick says, so where's the titanium on the Bandit on all the leading edges to handle all that epic speed?
Well, the painter made sure that, Jeremy made sure that there was no pinholes on the leading edge. There's still a couple pinholes here and there, but the leading edge was the main focus. That's one of the downsides with the BVM kits is when you go to paint them, and this isn't from my experience, this is from other people telling me, when you paint them, pinholes are galore. It takes so many hours to fill pinholes.
Yes.
And they're pretty bad with the BVM kits. So, but yeah, he made sure that he went through and took care of all the pinholes on the leading edge. So,
We've come a long way.
yeah,
I mean, thank God for vacuum bagging.
yeah.
Really.
Mark says, mention to Jonathan that Mike Matson from RCCG is joining up with me on the way to Tucson. Should be a good time.
You betcha. And I'm bringing my RCCG machine just for Michael.
So you can use it?
He's happy that I'm bringing my trailer too, because then that's easy to bring in.
Yeah, that would be.
So, Tucson is going to be fun.
You have a good spot there. You have canopy and stuff like that, and if the wind's low, you can do the balancing right there. It's an ideal spot.
Everyone's
power.
looking for a place to balance.
Well, you have power there, you know, like for charging. It's actually a nice setup, Jonathan. You'll actually like it.
Maybe I won't want to come home, honey. You'll have to move to Tucson.
As long as you just keep sending money, it's okay.
Yeah. Just keep paying the bills. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Might find some investable land property.
But it's too far.
No, it isn't. It's only 30
Not by
minutes from
airplane.
Mexico.
Too far from here.
It's only 3.5 hour journey by jet. It's not far. It's like flying from here to Los Angeles, basically, to Tucson. But most of the airports, you have better variety in Phoenix than in Tucson. So
Okay,
that's a
Super
2 hour drive
Bandits.
from Phoenix down. It's
Power.
I like it down there.
I've never been.
It never been there, but it grew on me. That's what I'm saying. I think Jonathan will like it there. It's especially that field.
I've been there before, but not to fly. But
That field.
looking
down there,
forward to it.
you'll love
Somebody's
it
got a good
so
comment on
much.
the engine. You got it?
Yep. Is the 25-hour mark on the engine necessary to follow? Some manufacturers say 50-hour, and I've seen some engines go up to 100 hours without a service. Most engines are the same, just different ECU systems.
So, easy answer on that. The easy answer is follow your manufacturer's recommendations. But the thing is, what I would do is take a look at the warranty. So we'll pick JetCat as an example. I think the warranty on JetCat is 2 years. If it's otherwise, I apologize. So if you have had an engine for 3 years, 4 years, and you finally get to 25 hours and it's running fine, your warranty's already expired. So why not keep running it? Now, if it's in a plane that really can't have an engine failure or a dead stick, maybe you don't want to do that. But if it's on a sports jet and it's running beautifully and the bearings aren't making any noise, run it to 30, run it to whatever you want. But what really determines that is the warranty. So with a Sweetwind engine, the core of the engine has a lifetime warranty. So it's better to send it in and get the bearings changed and serviced at that 25-hour mark. King Tech is the same way. They've got a lifetime warranty on their core of their engine. So at 25 hours, it's better to send it in. So the engines that typically have the higher hours on them, like a Beotech engine, which aren't manufactured anymore, the AMT engines, the downside to those engines is they're very heavy. The Beotech ones, not so much, but like the old AMTs are very heavy engines. So the reason they're heavier is because all the components are thicker, stronger, built bigger. So the tolerances may be better, which is why you get better numbers on the engines. If I do double thumbs up, do I get a...
No fireworks.
No fireworks? Dang.
No fireworks?
Mark says, I may not want to head back to Massachusetts either. 26 degrees out
Yeah.
at the moment here.
Oh, somebody asked about the weather earlier when we first started. It's actually not been so bad. Like February is usually pretty stinking cold here, and it's been, it was a couple days this past week that were cold, but we're like minus 10 overnight Celsius. During the day, it's like 0, so 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Frosting.
Today was nice.
Yeah.
It was about 3 or 4.
When the sun's out, it's beautiful.
Snow was melting.
Okay, so rudder is 5.
So
And frost in the morning or a little bit of dust and of snow, but it's all gone.
Yeah.
frost, that's what rubbing alcohol's for.
Kenneth says, ever thought of doing a turbine helicopter? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have, but it's really, my desire to fly is very low. There's an event coming up in 2025 that I've already signed up for to go to. It's a heli event happening in the US. I can't remember the name of it, but we'll be working on some promotions with them coming up. So that'll be a cool event because people are attending from all over the world. And you'll see some really cool helis there. But yeah, helis in general, I would rather take that money and put it towards a turbine jet myself. So.
Gordon says, cool how things work out. I recommended AC real trusty bent screwdriver, and I got my favorite number that I use for almost everything.
Wow, who did
Number
he bribe?
44 is cool to have trusty number 44.
No, you know what's amazing is I've actually had about, so with him, I've had probably 7 people, I think, reach out now. The numbers are picked not at random, but like people would order them. We take the next one in the list and ship it to you guys. And I've had 6 other people email me and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got number 22 because this is 22 to me and this and this and this. They go through all these things. It's crazy.
A correlation to them in their life.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You're welcome. I packaged them for you.
That's right. 44, that's Lewis Hamilton's racing number. That's a good number.
Yeah, the first 70 is all Katie. She packaged them all, so. Okay, so
Edgardo
that's
says Tucson will be less cold than Canada.
Oh, heck
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll be like plus 16 during the day.
It'll be like our spring and falls.
Jonathan will be wearing like that long sleeve shirt out there flying, so he doesn't get so much sunburn on his.
Shorts and t-shirt.
Oh, no, that. Just so you don't get too much UV damage.
Victor said, had mine sent in at 25 hours, but was running perfectly. Turbine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, getting to 25 hours for us is really difficult. So
Yes.
if I have 3 airplanes that I'm flying throughout a year, I can generally get, and I would say I fly a fair bit, I can probably get 3 to 4 seasons before I hit that 24-hour mark because our flight window is so small. But for somebody that lives in like Tucson or California where you can fly, where you can fly every single day, I mean, to go 6 months and then time out an engine, is probably pretty normal.
Pretty
So,
easy for them
Yeah.
if they don't have a whole hangar full of planes where they have to go through.
Well, that's a slight dig, isn't it?
No, it's not a dig.
Warbird says the ground usually takes care of my warranties.
We were just talking about the ground like in Tucson, the hard pan ground. Like it's hard clay within inches on the bottom. And if you put
You
one
can have
in
wire
down
on
there,
both sides, right?
Yeah.
it's gonna make a mess.
Kelly says easier to replace a turbine than an aircraft.
Oh, yes.
Faster
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh, yes. Well, the airframe alone and then all the components that will get damaged from it. And if you don't have a fire from it, that's a big thing too. Because if a turbine explodes and lets go, you probably have a good chance of rupturing your fuel system. You have issues and you'll have a fire. And then it'll be just like write the whole checkout for a new airplane. Right?
Edgardo says, yes, AMTs has 100 hours on bearings change, but there is no support in the USA.
Yeah.
That makes it hard. That makes it hard.
Yeah, the AMT stuff is, and it's old technology right now too, so.
You just want somewhere where you can actually get service for the turbines instead of having it. I have a Jet Munts and you have to send it basically to Spain to get it serviced. And that costs hundreds of dollars to send it. Like for Schwinn, if we really had an issue, we'd send it to China or down to Bad Boys RC down in Phoenix down there and they can fix it up.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big pulling powers right there. We have easy to service nearby.
We can do it here.
You know, I love some of the European stuff, but the fixability.
Nick likes my handwriting. It's very neat.
What?
I wrote all the addresses to
Oh,
overseas.
Who was it that put it on a plaque?
Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Kenneth says, watched a video earlier of a 9.5-foot turbine Cobra.
Nice.
Kelly
says, I got trusty number 3. I'm always in 3rd place.
That's a good number. I like 3. How many did you win up to? 80?
I think we did 96 because we had some of them that were,
Oh, so you would pass my
Broken.
lucky number.
there's still some left, I think.
Patrick
There's a
said,
few.
or Kelly says, Patrick can hit the service window in one jet event.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Patrick! Oh my God!
So
He
here's-
hit the service window, and he can also hit the "we need more fuel and oil" mix up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 trustees left, 82 to 94.
Here, let me look. I'll have to look for one. I'll have to buy one. Because the other day I was looking and I was just like, man, I could have used a trustee, and I'm not kidding.
Justin says, I watched a turbine heli was a match to the TV series Airwolf. It was crazy, but looked amazing.
Yeah, there's, I think with the technology too, they'd be a lot more fun now than they were years ago. You know, the heli engines have gotten pretty stinking cool. So I think it wouldn't be a bad thing to do. My problem is just taking that time or taking that money and putting into something that I really don't use. That's something I struggle with, like my Taylor craft that's up there. There's a fellow coming to Montana Jets that we haven't figured out a deal yet, but he may pick up the Taylor craft there. I haven't flown the Taylor craft in 2 years, and I just don't like having planes sit around that I don't fly. So that's my struggle.
I'm gonna have to send you money for 83. I could
83.
have used this the other day. I really could.
I know, it's the most valuable tool in your toolbox.
I was looking for something that had like a little leg bend, and I'm like, God, nothing. No, it's true.
And you thought he was nuts having
No,
a
no,
trusty
I
bent
kind
screwdriver.
of thought. You ever thought about doing this?
Kelly says, the Swewins just keep running as well as good support.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
with my Sweewin engine, so earlier this year, or well, not this year, 2023, there's a batch of Sweewin engines that were the 240s and 220s that had some failures on them.
I had one.
And mine happened in flight. So I took the boomerang off, took it off. It was during the flight. It let a blade go. The engines kept running with missing a turbine blade. It kept running.
It just sounded different, didn't
It was like, meh, but it kept running. I was able to come in with power, land, turn the plane off, blow my mind. Because most engine manufacturers, if you lose a blade,
You'll
the
lose
engine like
multiple
self-destructs.
No, you'll lose multiple blades.
Yeah.
Like that one guy with the King Tech with the.
Yeah, we
Rebel
just thought that
Pro
was a
Max,
really strange
we lost
sound.
Yeah.
Wow, now what was that?
So, and that happened actually after mine let go and the blade came off of it. Because you went out flying up there and then that happened.
Yeah.
That was only like 2 weeks later.
Okay, I'm
But
gonna
our
make some
guys-
noise.
Our guys down at Bad Boys, they fixed it all up. They got talking with the China down there, and we went and got it all. It froze.
Joe says, I got trusty number 80 and it has a special home on a plaque on the wall.
Yeah, I saw that online.
Online?
Yeah,
Really?
you put a picture of it on Facebook.
In case of emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got number 80.
You need it behind glass with a little hammer thing, a ratchet.
case of
Break in
emergency.
case of emergency.
Yeah, now that you said that, just wait, he'll make it.
Okay, Joe, you got to make that.
Break in case, like they
Yeah,
used to do with the
that's
cigarette.
cool.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, like in the, little hatchet thing on the side. And
You never seen that with cigarette, where they put a cigarette back there and they put
Oh,
break
no.
for the smokers? Yeah, that's going back a few years. Yes, I am getting.
Smoker?
I just remember seeing that stuff.
Dragon Killer says the big issue with building a turbine heli is that JetCat is the only ones making turbines for helis.
No. Zykoy has a heli engine.
Really?
King Tech has a heli engine. I've never seen one. But yeah, JetCat is the more common one for sure.
Edgardo, any idea when you will be working on the turbine installation of the Super Bandit?
It's going to be not the video on Wednesday, it'll be the video after, so Saturday's video. So my goal is to get this, so Monday here is a long weekend. So my goal is to get this Super Bandit basically wrapped up by Monday-ish. And so that video will be, I think, Saturday's video, a week from today.
Vid, John, vid.
And Mark wants number 94, if you can bring it with you to Tucson.
Yeah, it's 94s here.
Place your order online, Mark, and just put the shipping as pickup, and we'll set that aside and bring it for you. Because I think there's an option for pickup for the shipping.
It's
I think
here.
so.
The last one is 94.
Jagman says, we need a Canadian Sweewin service center.
Working on it. Working on it.
Jonathan is so busy with his assembly, building, with customers and stuff, that we're gonna have to get like somebody full on to do it, at least a couple days a week.
There's not that many Sweewin engines in Canada yet.
Well, there will be if we do this.
Yeah, I know.
Well, maybe we'll get a pull from the guys in Montana and stuff. Who knows? I tell you,
We were just thinking of the
we'd
people
be
that,
online with conferencing with what's his name down there.
I just figured the people that bought engines off of us.
Yeah, but
They're
you're
all,
the service.
they're coming due. They'd be coming due to the service.
Joe says, just for me. He's going to build the,
Yeah, I know.
yes.
He's smart.
Nick says, video, John, vid.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
By the way, yeah.
Okay, so
Joe,
we're gonna do that.
that's one nice pump you built, man.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Looks good.
We should ask him while he's online, what is the price of the new pump?
Good question.
Joe?
Hello, Joe?
Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Joe?
Joe!
He's 7 seconds before he gets up there.
It's a year old.
Okay.
maybe two.
Quiet on the set. All right, so we've got our servo installed. We used the special screws that we've got here. I don't know what they're called, but that's what they are. And we're going with the double armed, obviously, because it's a pull-pull setup. Burp break. All right. And right now, we're just kind of getting things lined up here. So the way this whole setup works is you've got, I'll show you on the plans in a second, but you've got clevises and stuff that get soldered to these rods. You've got clevises that get soldered to these rods. So it's quite an elaborate system. I found with this BVM aircraft, that's probably the most tricky part of it all, is all of the intricate details. So the elevator system, as an example, you take a Carbonero shaft, you put a liner in it, O-rings, a rod, you solder things on the end. So it's like 5 hours just to do your elevator linkages. The rudder here, it's going to be, you know, probably 2 to 3 hours just working on this rudder setup. It's not just a simple setup. So it takes a lot of time.
There was one guy in there, cycle that he was talking about sending his 240 in to get it.
So here is the setup on the rudder. So you can see what we changed here. So what they said was to have the brass tube sticking out of the vertical stab. So we did that a little bit different. We actually sanded that off flush with the surface. So that was one of the changes that we made. But you can see basically the setup here. So we've got 256 clevis with keeper on this side. And on this side, you've got a Sullivan clevis right there. And you've got the solder coupler that goes on there. So that's the setup. Pretty straightforward, rock solid, but just takes time to get it all set up. There we go.
Okay, Edgardo says, your comment before about jet fuel treatment, are you planning to make some videos about it? Maybe a short video?
Jet fuel treatment.
Yeah.
What do you mean by jet fuel treatment?
Well, it's kind of a tough one because there's really not a lot that I do compared to somebody that lives in Florida.
Where there's moisture.
So like the only thing that I do is I filter my fuel, right? That's it. Add oil to it. You know, somebody down in a more humid climate would be adding BioBor or an algicide. So antifungal properties.
Because jet is more prone than kerosene to that too.
So yeah, I don't really know if it deserves a standalone video. I don't know.
Hassel says, JetCat has a direct drive helicopter turbine engine. A belt runs straight from the compressor to a gearbox.
Nice.
Other comment, I have a 240 Swewin in my 1/5 scale BVM F16. It's a year old, maybe 2 hours total. Would you recommend I send it in to have it checked out? I don't want to lose the turbine in an F16.
It's not a bad idea because the numbers that were affected were very random.
Initially they were small and then they kept bigger.
So it basically was, it would usually happen around between 5 and 7 hours. So I would suggest getting it checked over just because, like you said, you don't want to lose an engine. So it's not a bad thing to do.
And Roman was saying that Schwewin has re-engineered that part to prevent it from happening again.
Correct. The design has changed completely.
So they've actually changed the part that was failing when this happened. And there was quite a few that were happening. It's just only the service center was seeing it because they were coming in.
So this
Kyle says, I'll send my engines to you.
sounds good.
Joe, we wanted to know what the price is of the fuel pump.
Yeah, the new fueling system.
Nick is still, cost is a new fuel pump.
Nick says, definitely a builder's kit then.
Oh my gosh, is it ever?
Oh, yes. When you have plans and you're going back and resorting to the plans to measuring,
Yeah.
Anthony says, yes, there is a pickup option. I still need to drive down and get my trusty.
Yes.
Gordon says, what type of radial engine is that?
That is, if you flip it around, Katie, and take a look at it, just no over there on the chair.
Oh.
So that is an Evolution E77 engine. It's a nitro engine is what it's designed as, and we are converting it to gasoline. Or gasoline. And we've got the conversion kit from the company. I can't remember their name right now, but we are converting that engine is the plan. And that engine is going into a Hangar 9 Corsair.
Kelly says his Mr. Funnel is awesome.
One great tool for sure.
man, he just finally got one?
No, Kelly, you've had one for a while, haven't you?
Jonathan first showed me it, his like, what was it, 2.5 years ago?
No.
We were up in North Battleford, and I'm like, what are you doing filtering?
Yeah.
material?"
I've had one for a long time.
And I'm like, really?
Whenever I hear that name, I think you're supposed to break out and song and dance.
What, Mr. Funnel?
Yeah, Mr. Funnel.
Mr. Funnel.
Yeah, some sort of song.
Mr. Funnel.
Jagman says, have you ever thought of making an afterburner with one of your engines?
We were actually really close. So we I can't remember the guy's name, but I found a fellow down in the U.S. I think it was DAG was the initials of his company, something like that. And he was actually, well, not we were, he was designing an afterburner for the Swewin 400 engine. So that was in production. Oh yeah, that's a 400 right there. So yeah, he was designing the afterburner for the 400 engine, which is right there. And he had it, I think he had it all drawn up. And it was going to use essentially 50%, well, double the amount of fuel when the afterburner's on, and it was going to provide basically double the amount of thrust. The engine was actually going to go on a boat, is where it was going to go. So yes, not overly functional for an aircraft, because if the engine is, you know, this big, the afterburner is also that big, and it adds a ton of weight, and you add a ton of fuel to the system.
Yeah, you basically would have to double your fuel
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah, so I mean, cool factor times 10,
Oh,
but
cool factor?
yeah.
Could you imagine taking off of it?
Oh my gosh.
Very cool.
That 400 that they have there, it is strong.
Oh, I know it's
It is
strong.
powerful.
Could you imagine 180 pounds of thrust?
No.
When we were running it on the special plane, it was actually pushing us back.
Yeah.
I was doing the first one.
I know, I
I
remember.
was sitting there bracing, and Jonathan went to full throttle, and I'm sitting there sliding back. And Jonathan had to put his leg there to stop me from keeping on.
Yeah.
The owner of the plane didn't believe us, and he's bigger and heavier than me. So we just sort of stayed back and watched him get pushed back. So he was shocked
Yeah,
at how
well,
much power that thing has.
He'll realize.
So an afterburner on that? Wow.
Well, yeah, you'd be taking and add another half the amount of power on. But yeah, like fuel consumption,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like it's amazing. Like the nozzles in those, like they have nozzles around the back.
It already burns a lot of right now. So.
Yeah. Oh yes, exactly. From the test, it's huge.
Yeah.
Gordon says, I have the same engine, had it converted by CH Ignitions. And I'm also putting it in a Hanger 9 Corsair using your build videos.
Oh, nice. So I think I'm going to do another build series on the Hanger 9 because it's been so long. Like that was the second plane I ever did a video on.
You need some more stuff in there.
No, I need it to finally solidify. There we go. It's got just enough space in there where it can go
Just
side to
sitting there
side,
going
right?
like,
Yeah, that original Hanger 9 kit that we did, it was kind of partially built. I can't remember if I had talked about that in the video, but the new one is just a blank kit in a box. So yeah, we'll be doing a build series on that. The first thing, we're actually doing an engine unboxing setup with the ignition conversion. And so that's kind of like been half videoed. We still have to set the timing up on that and the plug gap again and test run it, but there'll be a video separate on that as well. So
smallest glow plugs I've ever seen.
yeah,
Or
spark plugs, yeah.
The spark plugs, real spark plugs. I said, oh, wow. You basically take the nitro plugs and turn them into a plug.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with an ignition system.
I'm like,
we have to gap it the whole bit, just like a.
So there's our servo side of our rudder setup. So we have to make another one of these guys. These pins were done previously when we set the rudder up, but that's soldered together now. So this will be inside the rudder. This comes out, and then we do our other linkage on the other side.
Kelly says he's had his Mr. Funnel for a couple years now.
Yeah.
Kenneth says, but we love the smell of nitro in the morning.
Yeah, I do love nitro, but as soon as I smell it, that's one thing that instantly brings me back to helicopter days, because that's what I was flying.
that brings me back to my racing days.
Yeah. Brings
Jen-
many people back to days gone past.
Oh yes, the fuel price of that has gone so high.
Oh, yeah.
Jagman says, I'm studying aerospace engineering in Ottawa right now, and last year we had a capstone project where we converted a JetCat P200 to Zykoy ECU, and working on making an afterburner for it now.
Cool.
That is really good. Back in the day when I went to aircraft maintenance, we didn't have that kind of stuff. I mean, they're so far ahead now. Nice. That's good to see that they're doing that stuff.
Well, there's a group of students class in, I think they're in Montreal. They've purchased a few engines from me, and they're actually taking them apart and I think they're trying to make a turboprop out of it. It's pretty cool
That's
what they're doing.
Edgardo says, then you'll need the ceramic blanket for the afterburner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And a couple of those NAS ducts to get the air around them to keep them cool. Oh yeah.
Nick says, a couple guys in Israel did it years ago. Yes, fuel consumption was epic. They had it in the experimental fighter, an Israeli design called the Lavi. And good to do a prop plane every now and then just to keep you honest.
Yep.
Yeah. I still have my gassers.
Gordon says, okay, I'll wait for you. I'm in no hurry. Oh, Patrick's on. What's up, everyone?
Patty, Patty.
Hey.
How's my young whippersnapper doing?
When are you coming up for a visit?
We flew a bunch of bandits today. Missed this one.
Justin says, I just remembered I built an Eagle 63 back in the 80s. Was fun. Never got to try and fly it, though. Joined the Navy. Never seen it again.
Huh.
Aw.
I think I know what he was talking about. Eagle. Maybe a Skylark 65, and then there was a bigger one, the senior Eagle, like 62.
Like you're talking RC plane?
Yeah. And that was of the era too, like in the late 70s, it was a Carlboro kit.
Tricky Ricky says, it'll be good to see the Corsair. I grew up with the Black Sheep Squadron.
Yeah, that Hanger 9 kit's it's a nice kit. The first one that we built, it had a Sato 57 on it, or 56, whatever that Sato model is, the twin, and it needed a ridiculous amount of nose weight. So I'm looking forward to doing this one and having that heavier engine in there. Also with hopefully more power than the 57. It wasn't very powerful at our elevation, so.
Patrick will say he can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks, he says.
Looking forward to seeing you too, Patrick.
Patrick said he flew a bunch of bandits today.
Nice.
That's what I mean. There's a guy there that he'll easily, with his plane, go top out 25 hours in the air. Easy. Whereas us, we have to work at it.
David says, David Jones, what about using propane tanks in the wings to fuel the afterburner?
Yeah. It's probably,
Small little.
sorry I'm going to bring it up, but it's probably illegal to either AMA or MAC, depending on where you're located. Just hold on a sec. So I have to say that's a terrible idea, but
But
I think that's a really cool idea at the same
it's a
time.
cool idea. Just compressed gas. Yeah.
When are you planning on starting the build on the BDX?
The BDX will be as soon as I get the projects done for Tucson. The BDX will be then as well. So either just before I go to Tucson, if everything shows up, or yeah, in about 3 weeks, or when I come back, it'll be one of the first ones too.
David says propane is lighter than diesel.
Yeah.
But doesn't propane burn cooler?
No.
In a gasoline engine, it does.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
But you're not burning it in the engine, you're burning it in the afterburner
Yeah.
system.
It would actually cool it down.
Patrick says he's doing good. Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
It's okay, I got it, Ward. Thank you.
Gerald, hi from Plainfield, Illinois. 2 questions for you, Jonathan.
Yes.
Do you have a job besides building? Also, when flying in the States, do you need a waiver?
So, first question, do I have a job? Yes, I have a job. So when COVID hit the world, the company I work for, it's a construction company. I sit behind a desk all day pretty much, and we took a 20% pay cut. At the time, I talked to the owners, and I took Fridays off in lieu of my 20%. Haven't worked a Friday since then, so it's been 4 years. Is that right? So I haven't worked a Friday in 4 years. I will never work a Friday again. If they ask me to come back for Fridays, I will say no, because that's right when I started my channel, YouTube stuff.
And we'll be building a new shop there.
Yeah,
when that
and it's
happens.
been awesome. So I work Monday to Thursday. Every evening I'm in the shop, and I'm in here for 16 hours-ish on Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the winter time. What was the second question?
Do you need a waiver to fly in the States?
Yeah, so AMA doesn't recognize our turbine operating certificate. So we call it TOC. So in Canada, you don't need a waiver to fly a turbine or a turbine operating certificate. We used to get our TOC to go down to the US, and they would recognize that as our waiver. So when I go down to the US, I'm an AMA member. Have my turbine waiver is how I fly.
Yeah.
So.
That's the only way to do it.
Hassel says, what CAD software do you use for 3D printing? Have you used Fusion 360? Heard good things about it.
I haven't used Fusion 360. The stuff that I do is pretty basic, so I'll use Tinkercad for pretty much everything because it's simple enough that I learned it very quickly. But Fusion 360, I know people who use Fusion 360. It is awesome.
Gordon says to Justin M., thank you for your service in the Navy.
Thanks, Kelly. I use these things all the time.
Justin.
Right up there with Trusty on being one of the most valuable tools in my toolbox.
What is that?
BVM Clevis pliers. I'm gonna drill those out.
Justin says, yep, RC plane, can't remember what engine was nitro glow plug. Nick says, volume-wise, you're going to need a fair amount of propane.
Yeah, like the green cylinder type things, like a pound of propane.
So it wouldn't be really sensible to put in a plane, because that's a lot
It's
of
a lot of
space.
extra weight too with
Well,
the
yeah,
canister.
but it's not though, right? Like if you think about that canister with 1 pound of propane, I have no idea how long it would last. But if you're putting the equivalent amount of fuel in there, you're probably 10 pounds of fuel
You
maybe.
could probably get like spray cans, cylinders.
Yeah.
can
Oh, like
of propane.
streamlined.
Like the Power
Streamlined
Max, the
to
Power
fit
Max
in.
ones.
Yeah.
Right?
Compressed propane.
I found that when I was at the city. I see all these little ones. I'm like, people
They
make
have,
these?
you have compressed propane, which gives you, let's say, the same volume of propane, but in a smaller container.
Oh yeah. Well, they use
use it
those
on the
on
bus.
campers and stuff like
Well,
that.
they also
These
use
guys
them
camping.
on the buses, with the propane buses that they have.
Really?
And it's compressed, so that they don't need it as a large tank as if it's not pressed. And like say those buses go out there, they're from 3 o'clock in the morning,
I know.
all the way through until 5 o'clock in the morning the next day.
Nick says, having been blown up by gas, yes, it burns hotter.
Wow, that's a story.
Kelly says, Tucson is much like Montana Jets, laid back event, and most of the guys there are going to be at our event.
It's going to be
Yeah.
like a mini Montana Jets. It's
Like
going to be
a
awesome.
pre-Montana Jets.
Pre-Montana
Warm-up
Jets.
for Montana.
Okay, so I can't remember which direction I put the servo arm in, so we may have to redo this.
Kyle says, Jill says hello. Hello, Jill.
Howdy. Oh, Kyle, your daughter left a bracelet here. I put it in your radio case. So I'm assuming it's hers because we don't have kids young enough to wear that little bracelet.
And it
so-
doesn't go with what Jonathan wears.
No.
It just doesn't.
It's not in the wardrobe. No.
It just doesn't work. It's just so darn cute.
Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's not in Jonathan's portfolio.
Mark says, I just ordered Trusty. I think I forgot to mention number 94.
That's okay.
I'm looking at it as an investment because it was the last one produced.
That's true too. Until the next run in a couple of years.
No, I don't think we're ever doing them again.
Geez, maybe I
We'll
will
have to
give
find,
it.
It was hard enough finding those stupid screwdrivers to make them.
we have to find something else.
Kyle says, of course you did. Thanks.
No problem.
Kelly says, getting the band back together again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Woohoo!
Oh,
What's that?
that's
Oh,
the gyro.
Vortex?
So that's backwards. Gotta flip that around. Okay, so that.
Jagman says, when are you getting a Swewin 800? Love a video on that engine.
I'd like to see the plane that's going.
Yeah, no kidding. Into the glider.
Oh my god, it'd be like 16 feet big.
Never know. We got a lot of big projects coming.
Wow.
You never know with the technology nowadays. They can make them more powerful, but smaller.
There we go.
Steve, $6 million win. Right? You'll rebuild it. Make
Nick.
it stronger.
Nick says, Trusty number 5, chilling with me here watching this installment of After Dark.
Nick, got number 5. That's cool.
Perfect.
Are you getting the screen 800? Yeah.
This is a really nice setup. I'm glad that we
Didn't put.
didn't put the stupid little tabs coming out. So you're supposed to, so there's the brass tubes in here, right there. You're supposed to, the plans show those brass tubes coming out to about here.
Yeah.
And this just looks so clean.
Way cleaner.
Love it. Love it.
And back in the day when they were building that, there wasn't as much linkages and stuff, but that's the way it was done.
Yeah.
Because my dad was doing stuff like that too. I like looking like, how can you
Well,
separate everything?
for a pull too, I mean, this is, it's nice not having wires, first of all.
Well, you're not
And
going to
it's
get any play
strong,
in that
right?
at
No,
all.
0.
That's bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
When it's set up.
Yeah.
For a vid or
I got to put the screw in the end.
Kelly says, you may have to plan a trip sometime and time it for a live. Kelly, you guys can come up here anytime.
Absolutely. You know the schedule, every 2 weeks. I haven't looked at Tucson yet, how the lives all work out, but so far, every time we've done like gone to an event, it's always the alternate weekend, so it actually has been working out amazing.
You may just have to do a live, like down at the event and walk around and show people.
Yeah, I did one when we were at Miami. It was short though, because there was no reception at the field. That's the problem.
See when you're down there if you can find it, get a picture of like a road runner. So when I was
Like a real one.
A real one, I'm like, that's a road runner?
That's
And
cool.
it doesn't go, nee, nee.
No, it wasn't a cartoon version. No, it wasn't.
No coyotes chasing it.
Yeah, no little coyote chasing it.
And I didn't see the
Hold
tarantula,
up
but there was a
signs.
tarantula down there. Snakes.
All right. Okay, so we've got our servo installed, our linkages set up on the servo side. This is pretty simple to put together. Those are soldered together. We've slipped them in the whole assembly here. Nothing's on the other end. And now we can work on our keepers on the other end. So we need the threaded couplers. These guys. So our other end of the assembly here gets the threaded couplers. Now the benefit of the threaded couplers is that when we put our clevis on this side, obviously you can adjust the length to be perfect. So you don't have to have this all put together and try and solder it without melting stuff. So great assembly. So that's the next thing to do, is figure out kind of a median point where we've got a bit of adjustment forward and backwards. And then we're going to get these guys soldered onto our rods.
And that you have to do while it's on there.
Yeah, there's no other way to...
And
To make it work.
Wet towel underneath to prevent
Yeah.
to get onto the clear coat.
In between the paint.
Nixa should get a few more miles per hour now. Dragon Killer, do a C130 with 4 120s in it.
Gosh.
120.
That might be a little above our weight limit, but
Yeah.
all of our planes are under 55 pounds anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
David Jones, are you going to fly the Bandit at the event?
Yeah, so the Bandit's going to be maidened at the event. The Rebel Classic is going to be maidened at the event. The Rebel Pro is going to be maidened at the event. Lots of first flights.
Kelly,
I won't be flying the Bandit, so David, the owner, and Coco will probably be flying the Bandit.
Kelly wants to know if you've ordered a semi-trailer to bring all of David's planes down to Montana.
No, but we have a plan. We actually have 2 trailers now lined up. So my trailer and Stacy's trailer. Stacy's trailer is basically going to be empty. And the F-14 is going in there, the Su-30, whatever else we can fit in there, and then fit in mine basically. So Stacy's basically, his whole trailer is for David's stuff. So it worked out well because we had no other solutions other than getting a semi-truck.
Hey Kelly, is it going to be a 10-day event?
Who asked that?
That's me, I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting on, well, we're driving down on the Monday, I think. Things may have changed a little bit, but Monday basically.
What's the dates?
I don't know.
Which one?
You're on my phone.
Which one?
Montana Jets.
Kelly's there.
What
He'll
are
tell you the dates.
Kelly?
That's
17th.
right near Father's Day.
It's the week after Father's Day.
I know, but I'm just asking.
17th.
You're asking for the benefit of everybody else watching.
17th is the Monday, I guess.
Yeah.
Vienna has her grad on the 20th.
Oh,
Dad's gonna miss?
yeah.
That's why I'm asking what day. I might be driving down by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
When is the grad? Like, it's usually on a
June
Wednesday.
June 20th. I think it's a Friday.
Is it a Friday?
June 20th? No, that'd be,
Oh yeah, you might be coming down just for the Saturday.
yeah. You're gonna pull a Ward.
No, I can come down all week and then leave and go
Oh,
back.
and then come back, yeah. That's probably the best way to do it.
They just don't come back.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and get this measured properly.
David Jones says, hopefully there will be some good video coverage.
Heck yeah.
Nick, how do you go across the border with all this loot?
Easy, just drive. No problems.
And from Montana, I'll probably be the camera guy because, like I say, I'm not going to be flying, but I'll bring my good camera. And
Joe wants to know if you're coming to Valley of Hope this year.
That's Father's Day. That runs
That's
right
the
into
weekend. No, I think that's the weekend before. Is that right? I believe that's the weekend before.
the Father's Day. Yeah. It's right near the longest day of the year. You do like 21st.
Kelly says 17th to 23rd of
It's a
June.
week.
yeah,
But you guys are welcome to stay at our place if you want to stay.
Gordon says, good night from Texas.
Good night, sir.
Thank y'all.
Y'all come back. Y'all here now.
What time is it?
Hassel says, have you seen the new Sky Master third scale F-16 they're building? Huge
You
jet.
betcha.
supposed to be getting it soon, aren't we?
No.
Joe says, yes, Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, Father's Day weekend.
We'll see how things are going. Maybe not. Maybe. If I've got everything ready, then maybe. But if not, then we'll be probably packing trailers and stuff. So I'll have to see how it works out. I do love Valley of Hope. But probably, if anything, I might come down there for the day.
Like I say, I can be helping you pack trailers and stuff like that because I'm off that week and the weekend before, so.
Thank you.
I hate it when it does that.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, I got to video this part because it's pretty specific. Not that anybody's really building this plane anymore. The antique,
Antique.
vintage.
Yes,
Collectors.
vintage.
I'm becoming vintage, but not quite as vintage as you two.
Oh, he's such a funny guy.
All right, so we've got our linkages measured here. So what I did was I put our 256 clevis on the threaded coupler. We went about halfway, so we've got some adjustment in both directions, and got everything measured on the coupler itself, right there. So then what I did was pop this into the little plastic piece, and we've transferred that mark onto our rod so that we know exactly where to cut our rods. So now if we cut our rods there, solder this guy on there, everything is going to line up perfectly, and if we need a half a turn or so, that will be able to achieve that with the threads on the coupler.
And that's exactly how they were done, just like that.
Yeah, I'm a little sketched out about soldering this thing that close to the...
You got a face cloth or something, a towel
I'll
that you
put
just
some
wet
tape
down?
down there maybe, eh?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
You want to just keep the surface cool.
Yeah, I'll put some tape down there.
Insulation or something, just so it doesn't transfer the heat. Those are good cutters, the way that's cutting. That's hard steel.
Cable cutters. Bicycle cable cutters.
Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah,
Expensive.
I steal those to cut wooden dowels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, those are really good. We had a pair of those at the city for cutting
So
big
put
wire.
some
They're
tape
amazing.
over that area.
Yeah.
Nick says, need the 800 for that F-16.
Well, you never know. You never know.
1/3. Where are we gonna fly that? Just out in the desert somewhere?
Anywhere. It only weighs 100 pounds in the U.S.
How much does the big one weigh now? Like the 1/5 one?
100 pounds.
Everything's 100 pounds.
100 pounds. In Canada, it's 55 pounds right now. If we get our weight exemption, then it's like 76 pounds.
Nick says, great show tonight. Time just flew by.
Yes, it has.
Tord says, slip some heat shield in there to protect when soldering.
Yes.
That tape. That's,
Kelly says, I used my trusty today to get to a screw in the fuse.
Nice.
because the screw refused to move.
Comic relief on this side of the room.
Is that a dad joke?
Oh, jeez.
No, that's an antique person joke. This is when I shouldn't have put the ceramic blanket in there.
We used that, yeah. Do you have any leftover?
No, actually,
Got that-
you wouldn't want to put it against the surface anyways, because then it would scratch the crap out of it.
Well, could you put something in between?
I will
like
put
a
something
s-
in between.
No, like a cloth or
A
something.
wet cloth. A
No,
wet
but like-
towel.
Have the ceramic blanket with like a fuzzy side on it, so it's not scratchy.
Little tape
Oh,
that
you talked about stuff from there?
Yeah,
it does.
like if you just had a piece with a fuzzy
That's why I
side.
was asking if you had a piece. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
but
could
you
just
put a
make-
fuzzy side on it, and then it won't scratch the.
I like your, it's gotta have a fuzzy side. This is,
Then it protects on one side, and it protects on the other side.
I actually have the perfect item. Excuse me, sir.
oh, that's good.
Haskell says, you have a couple 3D printers and a laser cutter now. Thoughts on getting a CNC mill or a router?
Yep. Yep.
CNC?
Where would you put it?
Yes. When we get a bigger shop, that's probably
Right there in
when.
front of that door.
Yeah, we really have no more room left. As soon as June hits, like we'll lose half of the planes in the shop, but then by next year everything will be back. So
We'll get more planes to build.
yeah.
And we still gotta find the balancer spot.
There we go.
Yeah, that works.
What is that?
Fireproof material.
Oh, right, that cable kind of stuff.
Snake skin.
Sheathing stuff. Yeah, I remember that. When were you talking about that? That'll work really well.
Justin says, you can never build too big of a shop.
No,
You want the soldering iron there?
can't use a soldering iron.
Dragon Killer, when is the new shop build starting?
Oh, yeah.
When we win the lottery.
Send me $100,000 and it will start. Okay, so I need my little torch because the big torch is too much.
Right there?
No, that's the big torch.
That's the big torch?
Now I got to try and remember where the little torch is.
So this isn't the little torch?
No, that's the intermediary torch.
You have a smaller one than this.
Yeah, tiny little guy.
Really? Where are you getting these?
Russell, you can't ask me those questions. I'm magic.
Nick says, that paint job on the Bandit is epic. My Habu, not so much. Taking a few goes at top coat now. Foam is not a great paint acceptance medium. No, it's not. I painted my foam plane and
Yeah, Nick, every time I look at this thing, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Agreed.
And the underbelly. It's cool.
Yeah, I like the
underbelly
underside the
is-
best.
Is
Especially underneath
cool.
the back part of the fuselage, you got all the lines that kind of all come together.
Conversion.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You're gonna have to do some real long knife edge
Yeah.
holes across the runway.
well, Coco's flying it
Oh,
or maidening it.
You won't see it.
No.
You won't see it.
No, it will be very close.
But it'll be very
Probably the
fast.
second or third.
There we go.
flight.
Mini torch.
It'll be
Blink
very.
twice and you'll miss it.
It'll be very, very close.
Okay, so
I just remember how Coco was flying at night, but in the land.
From some of the vids, it'd be like close but fast. And you won't see
When
it
we were
anyway.
in LA and Coco was flying,
Tell 'em
we were like right on the runway, and it was like
right behind you.
vroom, right beside you, and you're like, oh,
Feel the wind coming off?
no, it's okay.
It's like
it was terrifying.
Yes, it puts the fear of God into you. It's just like something goes, and it goes. It's safety, like as you get older, all of a sudden the safety thing just kicks
yeah.
in. Like, when I was younger racing, we'd fly right around ourselves at those speeds. Thought nothing of it. Nothing of it.
There we go. All right, so hopefully this works.
Mark says, I have a 7.5 axis CNC
7?
that I program, mostly aerospace work, but do you think I have time to make any of my own personal model
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly.
A 5-axis one would be really, you could do just about anything with 5-axis, as far as from my understanding.
Oh, come on, you stupid thing.
It's like it's blowing too hard. Yeah, try that. Oh, man. Is that small?
Just a little baby
Are
torch.
you using silver solder or what kind?
Silver solder.
Yes. Solder.
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 Missed. It's okay.
Don't let the bubble pop.
Oh, look at it attached to the thing. Going? There it goes. There it goes.
Except it's getting on
The clevis. That's about a half a mile an hour drag. I'm joking.
I got more on the outside than the inside.
Oh. That didn't work?
Can you just put it in there and then melt it?
Yeah, you could load it up.
Yeah, it is loaded up. I just got more on the outside than the inside, so.
Yeah,
We'll load it up and put it
Well,
on.
you got it off, so.
I just dropped it. Where'd it go?
Man, that material is still cool to the touch. Uh-oh.
Try that again with a brand new one.
Got one?
Nick says there's ads on the live feed.
Oh, is there?
Really? How's that possible?
Well, this channel's finally
I'm gonna have to go home
Interesting.
tomorrow and watch this for ads.
just to watch the ads. It's probably not that interesting.
Yeah, I know.
And says some actual work action. No one's breathing. We're all like,
We did get a couple dots of stuff on there, which sucks, but
How did it get down there?
it was the flux that bubbled.
Sacre bleu.
Yep.
So it pops and
Now it's got its
battle scar.
battle scars already.
Oh, they actually look cool. They're on top of each other. It actually looks kind of like it's
Like it was supposed to be.
That's right, it's supposed to be. When in doubt,
All right, let's try this again.
flames.
We're going to try filling this up first. Again, we got more on the outside.
Chopped down. Wipe, little smoke.
There.
That's like a jeweler's kind
Still
of
some in there?
torch.
There's a little bit in there, yeah.
You don't want it all the way full. You want it enough so that when you heat it up, it just slides in.
There we go.
but if you just slightly heat it up and it'll be sort of
All over the place.
like, yeah, but you don't want it like too hot because you don't want liquidy. You want it just
It'll drip-
almost set.
It'll drip all over the material, which is okay. We can take that off, grind it off or whatever. Usually something.
All right, so try number 2.
Quiet on the
Can you
set.
just put it on there while it's still kind of,
No,
or does it set really fast?
it sets really fast. You don't want to have, on this type of thing, you don't want to have a dry solder joint or a cold solder joint because this is like super critical.
It'll create flutter.
It's raining on you.
This is actually.
need to light it again. I think we're all the way in. Yep.
Is it oozing out? I guess it is.
A little bit.
That's all right.
Yeah, my rudder's turned right now. That's why that's longer. So that's fine. So we're bottomed out.
Good. That's really critical.
That was stressful. Actually, more stressed about doing like something like that than like cutting into a fuselage.
And when everybody's watching you.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like everybody's watching me, just you guys.
No, it's just a black hole. I mean, like if you were standing in the Jubilee in front of 2,500 people, it'd be different.
So
Yeah, you can nib that off.
yeah, it'll be fine, I think, without it. Just leaving it.
It's there for the next go around. We have about like 4 minutes left.
Is that it? There we go. Now it popped off.
3 minutes.
Perfect. There we go. Success.
Success. And you won't even notice.
Let's hear a
the
round of
little-
applause, people.
No.
Whole bunch of thumbs up and claps.
Actually, the clear coat held up quite well for that.
That's exactly it.
And then our distance here, we're roughly centered and perfect.
Now, if that was on another airplane, it would be like a burn through.
One more time.
And now we know the process. That was easy.
That fire resistant tube there that you got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
that's off Amazon.
And we put it in,
It's insanely expensive.
Oh yeah, but that stuff is worth its money.
which plane did we put this in?
I don't know, I use it quite often.
Yeah, no, when you first got it, we're, oh yeah, let's put it in there.
Because you could take that tube and cut it in half and lay it out, splay it out, right?
Yep.
Nick says, how many people does it take to solder a?
Oh, Nick.
Lots.
An audience, we were all like holding our breath, like it's like surgery.
All right, well that's pretty much the live, guys. Thanks for watching. That's 2 hours just like that. Wow,
Nobody
that's
was
quick.
asking questions when you're.
Everybody's in
Everybody's
the
like,
same, holding their breath.
not just we weren't just holding our breath, but everybody else was holding their breath too.
Thought I heard it.
Let's wrap up the live over here.
Thought I heard it like the
Sigh like,
All right, guys, couple final thoughts that I just had, a little summary. If you have watched the whole way through and you have some ideas on the education side, classes, courses, shoot me an email on it, please, if you have some thoughts. Interested to hear other people's ideas. Still in the brainstorming stage. Don't know if anything's ever going to happen with it, but if there's enough demand for it and it seems like it fits with something that I want to do, I will definitely do it. Tucson Jets is coming up, so we'll have the next live will be in 2 weeks from now, which is, what date are we now?
very beginning of March.
We're the 17th.
Yes.
So 14 days, that's 27, beginning of March, yeah.
yeah, second.
Cool, that actually timing-wise works good. I'll be driving back the day we're supposed to have another live. So anyways, we'll figure that out. Yeah, so the next live will be beginning of March, and we will wrap up or talk about all the things that we were probably stressed out trying to get done. And that's pretty much it. So thanks guys for watching. Thanks for tuning into the live. Tons of fun. I love doing these lives. It's a blast interacting with you guys, more so than just like reading comments and stuff. So thank you for that. And we'll see you in 2 weeks from today.